All right, welcome back, everyone. We're doing the playoff preview. It's a much requested, much wanted, mostly by Chris in one text message. Uh, Preview of the playoffs for Nose Pick to the House. I'm Danny. I'm right here on my pad at the Blue Milk Bar. I've written some notes, trying to do a little better. I did Victor Brick style. I used marker this time so I could see a little better. Instead of last time, I just kind of wrote it in pen and then I really had to look. I've got my handy dandy screen swap. I think I did a little better this time. And away we go. Playoff preview requested by Chris. I think a little bit of Marcus too. All right. So here we go. Well, first of all, I was going to say that on my last video, I predicted B-Dub would be out of there and Nate Dogg and me and Irene would be in. But I was wrong. 44 points for New England, plus Santi had a bad showing. Brian's in there. So B-Dub's in. His team's looking all right, except for New England's defense not looking that great today. That might have been a bad way to start. But what are you going to do, right, B-Dub? Okay, so let's see here. All right, so first shout out. I'm going in order here, and as we look, bottom of the order there at 3 and 10 is my lovely wife, Cassandra. And I just want to say, babe, thanks for playing this year. I know it didn't go all your way. We got busy with moving, and decorating a house is a lot more fun than fantasy football for you. So I appreciate that. And then the last few weeks, Cassandra's been working 10-hour days. I, myself, have not been working at all. So my hands are really dry from doing dishes, if you know what I'm saying. But Cassandra's been bringing home the bacon, so we're cool even though I'm not working. So thanks, babe. Sorry it didn't work out this year. As you know, you can't leave the league because everybody told you you can't leave the league on all those text messages. So we'll see you next year. You'll do better. I appreciate you, though, baby. You had a great draft. Just didn't work out. All right, and then who do we got next? Oh, Yolita, my cousin Daniel. Daniel, the Cucamonga Cracker Killers didn't have a good year this year. You got Elliott, and he never really did shit. He just sort of was mediocre, and you got him early. So Eckler went down, stayed down for a long time. That didn't help you. That kept you out of the playoffs. But we all know you're a good player. You'll be back next year. And I'm sure one of these days you're going to be in the playoffs, just going for a championship, no doubt. All right, and then next we got in 12th place with a 5-8 record, Eric Easy, Uncle Eric. You're always a good guy, fellow commissioner in your league. I just missed the playoffs, or I would have whooped everybody in there. I'm really bummed I didn't get in those playoffs, man. You drafted Thomas, and you drafted Johnson, who got switched over to Houston. And Thomas effed you pretty clean, dude. Like, you got him early, and he didn't do squat almost all year. He was hurt a lot of the year, so feel bad for you, Easy. But what are you going to do? I do think, though, since you ended up one game out of the playoffs, you probably stopped trading too early. You told me you weren't down to trade a while back thinking you were toast, but look at dude, like one more game and you might have been in there. So I think one lesson to be learned is never give up, just keep on going, especially with 14 teams. We all got kind of clumped up in there in the middle. All right. Next, in 11th place, with the same record as Eric, we got Freddie with 1,300 points. Freddie with 5-8, he's always a tough competitor. He's been doing a lot better when he doesn't care about his Chiefs over wins. Now he's been a much better fantasy football player, but not this year, unfortunately. He had a pretty good team. He had Carson, Elliott. Oh, that's right. Daniel traded for Elliott, who didn't help him. Fred drafted him, and Kittle got hurt. That hurt him. AJ Green was never nothing. It's all, in the luck. Next year, Fred, you'll get him. Almost, buddy. All right. And then next place in 10th is old damn Daniel, or as we call him now, COVID Daniel. Just playing Daniel. Pittsburgh had a really great year, so I guess it wasn't your year to keep going. That's unfortunate. You had to sacrifice the good Pittsburgh year, like you said, for your fantasy football days. And let's see here. Oh, you had a big old Henry, but it didn't work out. And Miles Sanders, he definitely sucked, dude. So, sorry, man. Next year, maybe. And then my poor son, he ended the season with the playoff record, but not the playoff points. He ended up with 1370 and a 6-7 record, but that wasn't enough to get him through. That last week's loss really hurt him. That kept him out of the playoffs. Like I said, he was the one I thought that was going to get in. He didn't get in. I got in instead of you, son. That's the break sometimes, dude. It's like when we used to play basketball. I don't want to let you win, so, I'm glad I got the win this time. In basketball, I stopped playing you once I knew you could beat me, but I can't do that in fantasy football, so I just got lucky this time. All right, Nate. Let's see, what do we got here? You needed that win, but you didn't get it. Love you, son. All right, so next I wanted to do a playoff preview, and I wanted to go game by game. But first I wanted to start by saying we have a really cool mix of like players in there this year. I'm glad we got the 2 rookies in there. That's awesome. Irene and Chris both made it in there. That's really sweet. First year they get a little taste of the try. We'll see. Chris is hurt and McCaffrey's still not in there. That's not going to help him. And then we got 3 vets: Santiago, myself, and who's the third one? Santiago, myself, and Marcus, who haven't won a championship yet but are in the playoffs and are all looking for that first championship. And then we got 3 former champs. We got Corey, we got Ken, and we got Brian, all former champions. Ken with 2 championships, all trying to get another one, which I hope they do not do. We want no championships from them. All right, football gods, are you hearing me? So let's start off with the playoff preview. First, we got Irene versus Santi. So let me try to hold this up here, and hopefully it's not blocking anything here. But we'll go position by position. All I got to say is Irene scored last week. She went 124 points. Santi scored 97. So it's an 8 and a 1 seed, but it's not that much of an 8 and 1 seed. I think there's a little bit of a chance that Irene could take him. But the computer says it's Santi's to win 60 to 40. Mahomes Watson, you like Mahomes there. Allen versus Lockett, you got to love Allen there. Ayuk versus Cooper. Ayuk's been killing it, dude. Ayuk's been doing really good. So I think I like Ayuk there. And then you got Gordon and Cook. So I feel like Cook's dominating right there, right? Kelsey Hawkinson, you got Kelsey there. Peterson, Hunt. I like Hunt there. Obviously the computer does too. I ain't saying nothing. Gaskin, he looked pretty good last week, so this guy should tear it up. And then Irene got a lot out of Davis last week, so you never know. He could. I feel like it's a little closer than the computer saying, but it does seem like Santiago has a slight edge if I were to say so. So let's see here. All right, so that's playoff preview 1. I guess I'm going with the computer. I say Santi has a slight edge, but I hope Rini wins just because it's her rookie year. She didn't even want to play out first, and now she's in the playoffs with a good chance to win. So, see, Rini, I'm glad you did. I'm glad Adolfo didn't show up and it was you. All right, next playoff matchup. Ooh, we got the Brother Bowl. Let's see here. So the Brother Bowl is the 4 seed against the 5 seed. Doesn't matter who the 4 or 5 seed is. They could have switched easily. Pretty excited. It says it's giving half Chubb Marcus the edge over Chris, 52 to 48. I'm glad these guys got to go against each other in the playoffs because it would be absurd if they were like in the championship together or something like that. Same thing goes for our next matchup. I'm glad these guys are going against each other in the playoffs so we don't have both of them too deep at the same time, if that makes sense. Too deep at the same time. I didn't mean anything by that. All right, so we got Russell Wilson versus Herbert. Herbert got stunk up last week, but you can't play. He doesn't have to play the Patriots D this week. 44 points. That's crazy. So Herbert's going to go against Wilson. And Wilson's been so-so, so it's kind of a toss-up there to me. Smith-Schuster versus Crowder. I think one of the other receivers from the Jets got hurt, so that's pretty good for Crowder. Probably going to get a little more looks, I would imagine. And Smith-Schuster's been solid, though. Hill versus Landry, no contest. Hill could win it all by himself. Gurley and Chubb. Gurley's been decent, I think, right? Chubb's been better. And then Gronk and Henry, that's even. I love Diggs. I don't think Chris is going to get McCaffrey, so that right there, that doesn't look good. That does not look good. So if he doesn't have him in, who's Chris going to play? Well, he's not going to play Darrell Henderson, which was a good move. He's got 0 points in the first half. But he's going to have to play Gus the Bus Edwards. What did Edwards score last week? I thought he had a decent week. Let's see here. 10 points. No, that won't get it done in the playoffs. Good luck, Chris. Sorry, man. Your dad texted me. You don't think it looks good. I don't think it looks good for you either. But, hey, Marcus going to the second round would be great. Chris, if you get through, like I said, I want the rookies to win. I like you guys getting a good chance. So I feel like it's going to be a good game. Hopefully it stays real close all the way to the end. All right, who's our next matchup? The Father-Son Bowl. Like I said, I'm glad these two guys are going against each other. We can't have too many Wildhagens in the playoffs, so one of them's got to go this week. And I'm excited for this one. I can't imagine the shit they're talking on the side. I wish we had a little privy into their text messages against each other because they'd be pretty funny, I bet. But let's see here. All right, so the computer loves Corey, I guess, dude. Jeez, the computer's got him 65 to 35. I think that's the biggest spread so far. Murray versus Hill. I mean, you got to like Murray there, but Hill's been scoring it up, dude, running in touchdowns. Beasley's been super hot. Adams is always hot. Gallup, Jones. I mean, you like Julio, obviously, if he's playing. Gallman's been awesome, but Robinson's been awesome, too. Ebron, Tanyan, yeah, either way, same thing. Connor Taylor, same thing. Those guys are both suspect, or they both could be good. And then you got Williams against Boyd. I feel like all these matchups are real clean, same. Brian went with New England for the... It's in the third quarter already? All right, so Brian went with New England here. 6 points so far in the first half. That's not what he wanted. That's a far shot from 44, but what are you going to do? All right, I feel like I'm talking long. Let's move to the next game. I'm looking forward to the Father-Son Bowl. That's going to be good. And it's going to be close in my head, but we'll see. All right, and then the last matchup is myself versus the two-time champ Ken. He's solid all the time. He always plays good fantasy football. Oh, I'm barely a little bit better of a chance than Brian in his matchup. So 36-64. It really likes a Ken. I got Josh Allen. He's got Tom Brady. I think I like my matchup there. He's got I got Deontay Johnson. He's got Allen Robinson. Same thing. I mean, I feel like Johnson could blow up. Cup 3.55 ain't gonna get it done in the first half. If he stays on that pace, I'm pretty much screwed. I need him to score. Mostert, suspect as hell. So we'll see. I waited a long time for him to come back, and he hasn't done jack. Waller, he's my hero. He could win it all on his own for me. Thielen can win it all on his own for me. Cootie scored 30 last week. I didn't see that coming. I should have threw him into my other league. I'd still be in the playoffs. And then, let's see here. Ken's got Kamara, McLaurin. He's got Aaron Jones. He's got a beefy-ass team. Corey Davis, dude, he's got a beefy-ass team. So, I don't know. I like Ken there, too. I think the computer's right, but I'll cross my fingers and hope for the best. All right. So, that's my official playoff preview. Again, thank you, everybody, for playing. Who got in there? It's a real cool league we have here. I really feel like we're all a little family for a few months out of the year. We get a lot of texting done. We have a lot of fun. So I appreciate you guys, and good luck in your playoffs. And I hope you win, Danny. That's watching this. I hope you win, buddy. All right, thanks.